Hi there, yep, that's right, the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch, coming straight back on the camera yet again with more talk about the supernatural. Now, I want to focus today on the subject of practical magic. Now, it's a term that we've all heard of. You know, there's been plenty of films and screenplays with the words practical magic in them. There have been plenty of books written which were supposedly about something called practical magic. I feel that the term has been, shall we say, misused, like a lot of things within the New Age, the pagan world, the supernatural world. There's an awful lot of abuse of language. When we think of the term practical, we would normally assume that that would be to do with results in a very solid way, results in a very reliable manner. And when we think of the word magic, naturally we think about either the science and art of creating change in conformity with the will, or trying to create something by supernatural means. The assumption in the eyes of a person approaching the subject from the outset would be that results are reliable, results are solid, they're concrete. So you can then turn around and say, this works. So obviously, for those of you who've seen a few of my videos before, you'll already know that I have an issue, a very serious issue with the term it works when applied to the supernatural, because it's not quite that black and white. All right? If we're working a science and art, that means that we are trying to find out what is most likely to be true under some circumstances. That's what the word science actually means. And the word art refers to creativity, and more importantly, the increase in your skill over time. But the word science is not like engineering. Engineers make things, they put them together, they already understand the natural laws, the physical properties of materials, let's say, and they put them together in a planned way to create a prototype. The prototype is then tested, and from the prototype they will then create better versions until they come to something that they could then take to market, which would go through a number of experimental phases. If you're being a scientist, you're just trying to find out what is most likely to be true. It doesn't mean to say that you already know, and nor does it mean to say that the results are going to be concrete. Good scientists, for instance, always see failure not only as an option, but as an opportunity to learn, and to learn what is most likely to be real and what is not most likely to be real under some circumstances. So in reality, the term practical magic is a bit of a misnomer. Namely, it's the wrong name for something. And it's laden with too many assumptions as to what the term means. Predominantly, I would say, from the mass media, screenplays, Hollywood, and the like. So, if I was to talk about the term practical magic in a positive light, what would I say? Well, that's a very interesting question. I would still say that magic is about an attempt to create something of a supernatural nature using supernatural means, rather than being able to reliably, with a click of your fingers or the press of a switch, create a concrete result. But the operations of practical magic, instead of being for just gaining spiritual experience, are therefore something which is believed to be of use. Now, most of my exploration into the supernatural that has been testable has been based upon forms of thought transference and astral projection, which could be seen as a form of practical magic in that there is a result at the end of it, namely projecting to somebody so that they could experience you in their dreams, or you could experience them in their dreams, and possibly communicate a message. However, the usefulness of the experience and the usefulness of the message is a little open to debate. You might say that both the projector and the receiver would have to understand some symbolic code, or to be able to recognize when the projection was happening, and that would require the art part of what the word magic means, namely an increase in skill. It is possible that that skill might be lacking. It is possible that more practice could be required. There are many things that can get in the way of the successful execution, even of something as simple as an astral projection experiment. So, my interpretation of the term practical magic would essentially be a school of ritualistic or spiritual techniques which are geared towards physical or relatively reliable or relatively quantifiable results. It is a bit of a shame that in this present day era that there's lots of people who would sell, sometimes at extravagant prices, various forms of money charms or healing charms to those who have needs greater than just a little bit of confidence. I still find that a little sickening to my soul, unfortunately. And of course that type of social and economic interaction is dramatically different than the entertainment service of a tarot reading, for instance, which I do, and which I tell people is an entertainment service, although I know I do provide some therapeutic benefit to people through the execution of that service. Remember, magic remains an experimental art and science.